Obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all glories to all the wonderful devotees who have given us access to Srimad Bhagavatam and the process of bhakti, seeking all of their prayers. Just want to express my gratitude to have this time with Bhagavatam and the devotees this morning. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Gnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunadanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanosute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhye vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pricharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Shishrusho Shradadhanasya Vasudeva Kadharuchi Syanmahatsevaya Vipra Punyatirtha Nishevanat Shinvatam Sukadha Krishna Punyashravana Kirtana Hridayantasto Hyabhadrani Vidunoti Suhrutsatam Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Tada Rajastamo Bhava Kamalobhadayasyaye Chetayetarana Vidham Stitam Sattve Prasidati Evam Prasanna Manaso Bhagavad Bhakti Yogataha Bhagavad Tattva Vijnanam Mukta Sangasya Jayate Bhityate Hridaya Grandhi Chidyante Sarva Samshaya Kshiyante Jasya Karmani Drishta Evatmanishware Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, we are reading from chapter 3. Let me share my screen. Sorry, not able to pull up the verse. Okay, now we should be able to see. Yes. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 26, Fundamental Principles of Material Nature, Texts 44 and 45. Rasamatrad vikurvanat ambaso daivachoditad gandhamatram abhutasman prithvi granastu gandhaga. Word to word. Rasamatrat, which evolves from the subtle element taste, vikurvanat, undergoing transformation, ambhasaha, from water, daivachoditat, by a superior arrangement, gandhamatram, the subtle element order, abhut, became manifest, tasmat, from that, prithvi, earth, Ghranaha, the olfactory sense. 2, in fact, Gandhagaha, which perceives aromas. Translation. Due to the interaction of water with the taste perception, the subtle element odor evolves under superior arrangement. Thence, the earth and the olfactory sense by which we can variously experience the aroma of the earth became manifest. Text 45. Karambhaputi saurabhya shanto gram ladibhi pridhak dravyavayava vaishamyad gandha eko vibhidyate. Karambha, mixed. Puti, offensive. Saurabhya, fragrant. Shanta, mild. Ugra, strong. Pungent. Amla, acid. Adibihi, and so on. Prithak, separately. Dravya, of substance. Avayava, of portions. Vaishamyat, according to diversity. Gandhaha, order. Ekaha, one. Vibhidyate, is divided. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Order, although one, becomes many as mixed, offensive, fragrant, mild, strong, acidic, and so on, according to the proportions of associated substances. Purport. Mixed smell is sometimes perceived in foodstuffs prepared from various ingredients, such as vegetables mixed with different kinds of spices and asafoetida. Bad odors are perceived in filthy places. Good smells are perceived from camphor, menthol, and similar other products. Pungent smells are perceived from garlic and onions, and acidic smells are perceived from turmeric and similar sour substances. The original aroma is the odor emanating from the earth, and when it is mixed with different substances, this odor appears in different ways. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hi Krishna, thank you for joining Haridwani Prabhu and whoever would be hearing later. I don't have so much understanding or deep analysis of this subject. Thankfully, Haripasha Prabhu was here and he was giving the overall summary of the creation, not only from this chapter but the overall creation aspect itself. And as we understand, these elements are forming from this one big pradhan and then the Mahatattva, and with different elements, each of these sense objects are coming out. And this is actually the last one of the 5 elements, earth, which actually have all the 5 things like form, taste, shape, that's the same thing, sense. And then this last one is the aroma that we are hearing here. And thinking as I'm reading this purport, order, although one, becomes many. As we understand, the whole creation actually came like that. It's big, everything mixed into pradhan at the time of pralaya. And then from there, all these varieties of creation are coming out. Like it's just so amazing and fascinating. As I was thinking about it, it's not an simple arrangement. And in the same way, we can see this is something which probably we, with the material, how much ever scientific research and whatnot we do, we may never be able to understand from this earth. Like we have roses, we have lilies, and we have jasmine. Of course, all these are nice smells. This purport is actually talking about pungent and offensive and all kinds of bad smells also. But even if we take nice aromatic flowers, each has its own flavor of the aroma. It's not like, okay, just flower, that means just one smell. So it's just so beautiful to see how much variety Krishna has put into this creation, how much it has, and all this for what purpose? I was thinking yesterday we were reading fifth canto, last chapter, the hellish planet, and I was going like, here is Parikshit Maharaj, end of fifth canto. So I'm assuming like end of third day or probably fourth day, out of his 7 days before his death, and he is with this exalted Shukadeva Goswami. What are those two have to do with this hellish planets and the hellish, conditions that the living entities have to go through? I mean, these two are like exalted. Even if we take about law-abiding, God abiding people, they're like the topmost peoples. But still, they actually spend quite a bit of time talking about this creation aspect at multiple places and about these hellish planets, as I was talking about, because their focus is not just, okay, I want to get out and please tell me, just Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan, or like just bhakti. I was actually telling Lakshmikanta Prabhu, Prabhu, I'm sorry, I won't be able to do the Bhagavatam reading or discussion with these verses because I don't have much to speak. If it's about devotional service or pure devotees, or we can actually speak and glorify and whatever. And I'm like, I don't know, Prabhu, what to speak on these verses. So please, I don't want to do it now. I will do it some other time when nice verses are there. And then Vrindavan Prabhu is teasing me, oh, you can't give like a nice class and you won't be glorified because you can't speak much. Why can't you do it as a service? And I said, okay, fine, I'll try to do that. But as I was thinking about it, I was just appreciating so much this aspect of Krishna and the devotees, Parikshit Maharaj and Shukadeva Goswami, spending enormous time in so many numerous chapters discussing these aspects, because as we understand, when we connect to the source, like where these are coming, and okay, I want nice smell, I don't want this bad smell, or whatever, when we are doing, for us to try to connect to the source, where is it coming from, and what's the purpose of this whole creation? What is the purpose of all these sense objects, and for me to have these senses? When we understand that and then connect to that, bringing Krishna into picture, then all this becomes wonderful. Like, okay, I have this, so I can use that smell. Ambarish Maharaj quotes, let me smell the tulsi flower, tulsi, offer to your lotus feet. And I was hearing yesterday, I forgot where, Krishna's form is described, and Lord Anantadev's glories in Canto 5. So the tulsi garland, it's so fragrant that all the bees are around humming. And then that actually becomes like another beautiful garland, like all the bees around, and like it becomes a beautiful design. Chintamani Mataji, you can think of it for the next festival. It becomes even more, beautiful garland on the Lord, and he becomes even more beautified, or the garland becomes beautified by his being on the Lord. Anyways, so that is the purpose of this whole discussion. That's what I'm just appreciating, those aspects, and also how detailed description Srimad Bhagavatam gives. It's not just saying, okay, at one point Krishna decided to bring the creation into picture, and the creation came. Okay, fine, the purpose is to help the living entities to try to enjoy separately and then go back to him. That's all. But no, it's not stopping there. It's actually going into details and to further details of how each planet and what happens in each planet and how these elements came and how the different varieties of living entities came and what are their kind of activities, and there are so many details, even in terms of like this astronomical calculations from one planet to other, and in such a amazing math numbers. I was like, geez, this is crazy. Even with so much advanced research, the material scientists, we are not able to pinpoint exactly this is the thing. We may say something, and tomorrow some other scientist finds something else and say, hey, by the way, it's not so, it's actually like this. So we are not able to say it for certainty, whereas Bhagavatam is actually giving that kind of certain knowledge, because it's actually coming from a descending process, because it's coming from somebody who actually has seen, who actually knows how everything is happening, not trying to figure out, oh, probably it could be this, probably it could be that. Like if let's say some devotee is cooking, and if we eat that, we may say, oh, this may have this ingredient, oh, probably that's the spice they have used. How about did they put this cashews or did they put that thing or not? We have to try to go with our logical or like our inferences and all that stuff. But if you ask somebody who has actually cooked that dish, they can tell you like this, like these are the ingredients I have put and this is the process, and everything is for certain, they can tell us. So that's the kind of knowledge Srimad Bhagavatam is giving. And I'm just appreciating the opportunity for us to have, thanks to Parikshit Maharaj and Shukadev Goswami, being so selfless. They're actually giving us for all of us. And then to Srila Prabhupada and all our acharyas and devotees who are making this accessible to us. So that's my appreciation. Sorry, I don't have anything exactly for these verses, but that's something I was just thinking of sharing. If either of you have anything related to these verses or anything else, please share. Thank you so much for joining.
That was a wonderful example of cooking and kitchen. Thank you. What came into my mind was when you're saying that example, when we approach the team or the person himself who has like the person who has cooked, then they not only give us the ingredients, but they give us much beyond the ingredients of what was the purpose of their cooking, and what is the like one is the purpose and one is the intention. Like many times, for example, if I can take my case, like I don't eat yogurt or certain non-Indian dishes. So the devotee friends that I know of, when they know that I'm part of the home program or something, then they kind of make a specific dish just so that I can also have prasadam. So in such cases, like just the act of it, with knowing the ingredients and all of that is one level, but just them putting that effort and giving kind of explaining to me, oh, Prabhu, because you don't eat yogurt, we didn't put yogurt in it. One part of it is in the ingredient, but the primary motivation or the intention of love shows up. So as you were speaking, I was also thinking that just the fact that this entire process of creation is delineated and all of that shows the love of Krishna for us, rather than just saying that, okay, now that you wanted to stay away from me, I've created this, and I don't have like I don't have to explain it to you that what is the entire process of it or anything. You just be there, and then whenever you want to come back. That's not he goes in and like not just in one place, as Haripatsa Prabhu was saying, right? It's not it's like once Brahma explains in second canto, Brahma explains it to Narad Muni, and then third canto somebody explains, and then next somebody comes back and explains, and then finally Krishna himself is again explaining it to Uddhava. It's like multiple repetitions of the same message over and over again, just saying that in case if you forget, here it is again. But in case if you forgot that, here it is again. So somewhere or the other, kind of trying to show the humongous love that he has for all of us, and like what kind of strategy and effort, all of that goes in, just so that we can, our desire of enjoying away from him can be kind of facilitated. And so that's kind of, in some ways, as you're saying, like just mind-boggling.
Yeah.
So thank you for reminding me that.
Oh, thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much. That's so beautiful. I can actually relate to that. I didn't know about your yogurt thing. Thank you for letting us know. Next time I'm gonna take care of it. But I have this experience with Shri Radhika Mataji. She tries to follow vegan.
Yes.
So every time, that kind of a thing, it actually brings that relationship so much more deeper and meaningful, because, yeah, it is a special effort to go beyond and try to accommodate, one or two devotees' things. But it means so much for that devotee. And
Mm.
seeing how much it means for them, it actually feels so much more fulfilling. It's not actually extra work or burden, but it just feels like, wow, that's so amazing, because inherently we have that capacity and desire to connect in that way. So I'm appreciating you bringing that. When we understand how much Krishna is doing for us, it naturally melts our heart. It's like, oh my geez, he's doing so much. Like, I don't know how Krishna feels, but I have this experience with, Shri Radhika Mataji, as I was saying, she's like, oh my, I shouldn't have told you guys. I don't want you to go through this extra work. She just feels so much. And,
Yeah.
relating that and how much more Krishna would be feeling, for, I'm sorry, we should feel for what Krishna is doing when we understand how much he is going. I mean, in one sense, not out of way for him, everything is his way. But like he's definitely doing for you, me, and all of us. He doesn't have anything to do with it. He could happily be in Vrindavan, just play on his flute, like Haripasha Prabhu is discussing. I mean, describing so beautiful that image, right? Just coming out of Yamuna and with all this water droplets and this black body and playing flute. It's just so beautiful. He doesn't have to deal with, even through his energies or the demigods or whatever administration stuff, he doesn't have to deal with all this. As you're saying, okay, fine, forget about it. You just go and come back. But no, he actually, it's just so amazing. I had this, I mean, it's on YouTube, I don't know, but I can share. It's just so sweet. Recently, I was in Vrindavan. We were planning to go to Radha Ramanji's temple, but looking at him as I'm speaking, I have a beautiful poster in my room. But the temple was closed, or like so much rush was there. We were like, that's the second time I was going for darshan. Already I went 2 days before in my 3 days, and I was like, if I can get one more darshan, I was like feeling that, and then I'm like, oh, it's done, okay, that's it, I'll come back next time whenever. And we went away, we went to Radha Gopinathji's mandir, and I forgot about we wanted to go back or something. We were there happily singing kirtans and whatnot for half hour, 40 minutes. We were coming back, and that's supposed to be closing time. But just we saw that the crowd was less. We were like, okay, let's go inside. In case if it's open, we'll take darshan. Otherwise, we'll come out. And we went, and lo and behold, like the curtains were open, and we could see this beautiful Radha Ramanji, like with such a beautiful smile. And 1 minute, like I offered obeisances and got up, and like really with this, heart filled with so much of gratitude for him to let me have this darshan. And then it closes the curtain. That's the time of closing the temple, and next day I'm leaving. I mean, it was really touching for me. Wow, this is so amazing and all. But as we doing this discussion now, I'm thinking, yes, I may have little eagerness to have this darshan or whatever, but looks like he is even more eager to see, whatever tiny, insignificant living entities rotting around here when they have this little tiny desire to go back and connect with him. He has such a eagerness. I mean, Radha Shamsundar, 12 years in the boxes just to come out for 1 week outside during Janmashtami. It's just so, melting the heart. Oh my goodness, like, what can I do to reciprocate or, like, for all that love? Anyway, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's just very beautiful to think of Krishna's reciprocation, what all he's doing for us.
Yes, yes.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. This was beautiful discussion.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. This is Chandramukhi,
Chintamani Mataji.
Chintamani Mataji.
Thank
Somebody
you.
hijacked Chintan Mataji.
No, this is the time for hijacking.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
So,
Please accept
Dandavat
my
Pranam
humble
Mataji.
thanks.
So, your talks are beautiful. Your thoughts, everything is beautiful, actually. Because I could see that every time you speak, that beautiful word comes out of you. So that means you're only looking at the beautiful, and in that way, what will happen is the consciousness. I've seen some devotees say, "How are you doing? Krishna's mercy, Prabhu. How are you doing? Beautiful." Whatever, right? So I was thinking how it works for a living entity in this material world. We are talking the topic of creation, which is not an easy topic. It's a mind-boggling topic. The only thing I know is, oh, Hawaii is nice, India is nice, and we have seen certain places in the country or in the elsewhere. You go to Europe, that's a nice place. That's all, right?
Yeah.
And then nature gives such a pleasing. Sometimes we go to different places. 2 days ago, I was hearing from Chandramoli Maharaj. One disciple of Chandramoli Maharaj was asking Maharaj, when I go to a walk in the nature, wherever it is the green, I feel so peaceful. And then Maharaj said the same thing. When did you go? She said sometime in the morning. Maharaj also felt left at the same time in Europe, more or less the same time. The Maharaj and his disciple, both. Looks like one is in Europe, one is in somewhere, right? So, but they both had that reciprocation saying, Maharaj, we went. Maharaj also said, oh, I went as well. I went to the walk and I felt so pleasing looking at the green. And Maharaj was telling, the nature has given that green, the color of green is pleasing, right? So in this midst of this whole universe, we are in chaos every day, but green in the nature is showing us that to be peaceful. That something came to my mind, that even in spite of this material nature so strong everywhere, the cities are growing, there is no green trees, and people wants to go to green. Hey, let's go to a place where it is green. So that means the longing is there for the nature, for the green, for the peaceful peace. And people may not understand that this nature is created by, this green is created by Krishna, but there we are artificially creating our own buildings and factories and whatnot. But nobody understands the nature what Krishna has given. Such a beautiful thing which we can be very peaceful in this particular earth. Whatever you think about going to Gajendra, what is that where Gajendra Moksha happened? Gajendra, that particular place, if you look at it, the way it is being described, mesmerizing. So the Krishna has created so many places and so many universes to make us enjoy independently. The one thing comes to my mind is, yes, Krishna has given so much space, places to enjoy, but how do nobody gets frustrated? One way I can say, there's millions of years we are taking birth after birth after birth after birth, and I don't think we are still frustrated in this material world, because we still keep enjoying. Oh, this is my place of enjoyment. This is my place of enjoyment, right? And people may not know that hellish planets also is created. They may not know that. so so one should be careful and cautious that, yes, such a beautiful place is there, but is this my place to live forever? Nobody realizes. The only thing realizes was, I was listening to some podcast. They said, how Prabhupada has given this Srimad Bhagavatam and then such a nice description of everything. One lady was telling she is into tantric and this and that, and he was talking about Garuda Puran, and he was telling, oh, how much over punya you make, papa, you do papa, and then you make punya, that will compensate. Where is that compensation? Nothing is going to happen like compensation. You do punya or papa. See how people in the world may not even know what the reality is, and we are blessed to be in this association of, in the umbrella of Srila Prabhupada's mission, to understand the nature, right? Nature of a living entity, nature of Krishna, what we are, Sambandha Gnan, what is the Abhidheya, what is the Prayojana. All this comes to a place that just by devotional service, we can say by, just by, but that's not easy, right? Four regulative principles: chant Hare Krishna, eat prasadam, chant 16 rounds. This is your qualification to go back to Godhead. I was I was thinking, I'm in between projects. I'm preparing my resume to get a some reach a goal. For that, I have to mock up my resume zillion times to show that I am so and so, right? Then I was thinking the same, as a devotee, we externally clean up, mock up, make up, and then say, this is my chadar. There's looking, somebody looks at, oh, wow, he's a devotee. But internally, externally is a devotee, but internally is nothing, zero. So just like that resume we are preparing, external resume is awesome to get a goal of our life. But Krishna's goal, prepare your heart as a clean resume, right? Then we are qualified to go back to Godhead. And one reciprocation, what you're talking about, some reciprocation, how Krishna has, we desire Krishna sanctions. Recently, a few days ago, one devotee, Mataji, came. She saw the elephants in front of the altar. That is the wooden carving. And in between there is a hundi, we know. And she was trying to see what is in between. This side also is an elephant, that side also an elephant. What is in between? What is in the center? She wants to see that. She had a desire. A few minutes later, Nitin Prabhu calls that Mataji, Mataji, can you help me to pull that hundi out so that we can clean that hundi in the place downstairs, down below the hundi, right? Then Mataji was completely, what? I just desire to see that. Krishna is making me to see that desire, see that. So that means I was thinking what kind of desire we should have. At least she is in the altar, she wants to see this. And what kind of desire we have to be having in our heart, so Krishna can sanction. And my desire is to have such a nice, beautiful place to Hawaii. Yeah, next birth you will be in the Hawaii. so, so anyway, so many things I confused, I believe. So anyway, I'm just putting my thoughts.
No,
Hare
no,
Krishna.
thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhu. I'm appreciating like Prabhupada in any verse, any purport, if we take any of his books, we can actually, get the gist of it. And when I was looking at these verses, I'm like, there is nothing in these verses to speak or discuss. I was thinking, But it's just so beautiful. I was, just before discussing, I said, I don't know what to speak or what to share. But it's an amazing thing to be with Bhagavatam and to be with the devotees. So let me just be grateful for that opportunity. That's my intention or sankalpa before starting the discussion. Lakshmikanta Prabhu, Haridwani Prabhu was there. Lakshmikanta Prabhu had to draw for a work meeting. And I'm like, okay, just two of us, but whatever Krishna inspires and brings from the discussion. And as you're bringing, like this essence of devotional service and how, like from the beginning to the end, you brought this, how we have to conduct externally by following all the regulative principles and then chanting all the way to clean up the heart and develop that prema, as Haripasha Prabhu was mentioning. So just this half an hour seemingly, kind of a dry verses, still how Krishna can make it so sweet with the association of devotees and Bhagavatam. So I'm just appreciating that. And another
Yeah.
aspect, Krishna's
This,
reciprocation.
what they said, scriptures, when we read scriptures, it will give us a strong conviction that, yes, Krishna is everything. But we might have questions. So what do? We come to the Sadhu Sangha where we'll get clarity of those questions. That's why we have to be in the Sadhu Sangha. And then we will develop that emotions, waves in the nectar of devotion that all comes in slowly. At least if we get there, all other things will come. I see when we were doing all the abhishekams with different colors and this and that, and I can see you actually were crying tears and tears and tears. You are in ecstasy, right? So those ecstasies are some of kind of the waves we are already getting it, Mataji. I don't know when I'll get it. Hare Krishna.
No, it's all of your blessings and all of you so wonderfully worshipping them. And as you're talking about this reciprocation, that was one of the reason for me to have those tears. I was just, thinking of a few things, like seemingly randomly, as I was just looking at the Abhishek. It's just so out of the world. And I just would think something and it would just manifest, like four or five things like that, like this Mataji's example, as you're saying, just like unimaginable reciprocation. I was like, geez, I have to be careful what kind of desires. I mean, this is anyway nice desires with Lord's Abhishek. But even otherwise, Krishna is ever ready to give us whatever we are asking. Are we ready to ask the right thing? I was, just contemplating on that, and you rightly brought that up. We are trying to do so much, putting the makeup and do all kinds of things for the resume to look nice outside, for everybody to think, oh, she's such a nice devotee, oh, he is such a wonderful devotee. But what's happening inside? And for that, Krishna is ready to bestow us whatever we desire. Are we ready to ask that real thing? I was just thinking about it. Anyway, thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much for nice reflections. And while you're worshipping the deities, you're giving us also blessings by your association. Thank you, Chintamani Mataji and Sir Prabhu. And
Thank you, Mataji. I was thinking of something a little controversial, actually.
controversy.
Because this chapter, I have that same difficulty. I'm like, oh gosh, this is so beyond me. Uh, but I was just telling Balram Prasad Prabhu actually that right at the beginning of the chapter there is mention of the falashruti of knowing of hearing about Sankhya Yoga. The knot in the heart is going to be, and I think there are three of them. But one thing I was thinking, I know, like Haridwani Prabhu mentioned about Krishna creating this beautiful world because we jivas wanted to enjoy separately. So he made this place, which is a place of enjoyment and, with so much care. But then going back a little bit, why did he even create jivas? Right? Why, why are we there? So,
Why jivas? You're
yeah,
not asking why creation.
no, why jivas? Creation for jivas, understood. But why jiva? Right? I actually asked that question to Chandramouli Maharaj once. And he pointed me to a verse in Chaitanya Charitamrita. I don't remember the verse, but the essence of it is because for Krishna's pleasure, because he alone, he was not, it wasn't enjoyable enough for him. And so he created, everything, his energies, Radharani, and then extended that to, little us as well, right? And so, yes, to keep us entertained and keep us, he did create this. But the thing is, sure, it is, it may sound a little selfish that, it's because of himself that he, but the thing is, he cares for every little one of us so much. And that is shown in all this reciprocation that we all see, right? I mean, so often. And I'm sure if we sit down, we should probably have a session of reciprocations. You know,
I know.
all of us, I mean, it's like so much. Just today, I've been thinking for quite some time that I wish Guru Maharaj would give me some assignment, some task, some service. Today, I receive a message from Maharaj. I'm like, oh my gosh, get up in the
Watch
morning.
out what you're asking for.
And I was like, oh, I was. Oh, Guru
Wow.
Maharaj. So, yeah, I mean,
Amazing.
so
Yeah, I was thinking,
blessed.
sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
No, I was just, that's it. I mean, I was just like, it's just so amazing, so blessed we are to at least recognize that, there is the reciprocation, that, yeah.
Yeah,
It,
for that reciprocation, we need two people, right? As we're talking about, and for Haridwani Prabhu's example, that's where we started whole discussion. When somebody has these special dietary needs, we are seemingly going out of our way to fulfill that. And that's actually bringing this, beautiful heart's movement and the reciprocation and that relationship being deeper. So if just Krishna is there and no jivas are there, I mean, just imagine you are there. Okay, fine.
correct.
Let's say deities are there. You're serving them so beautifully, and that's it. Like nobody else is there in the temple. You're so beautifully dressing them, everything. Nobody in the deity room, nobody on the altar, nobody in the temple room. How would you feel?
I know, totally. Yeah, we
I mean,
need,
it's a
absolutely
wonderful
need.
service. You have deities at least. But even then, like, I could even feel now in the deity room as you're serving together. Yes, the service and Krishna is at the center, but through that center, all of you are developing such beautiful, heartfelt relationships. I could see that. And, for that, because it's natural for us to reciprocate, receive, and love others, and Krishna has it.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So what would we do if we don't have the devotees around? Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. My gosh.
Thank you so much. 818. Sundar Lila Mataji, I see you just joined. Do you have something to share with us? You have so many reciprocations and so many beautiful things too. Okay, thank you so much. I requested Lakshmikanta Prabhu, no need to stream. As I said, I'll just read the verses and we'll close the call, but it's already 8:18. Thanks to all of you, wonderful devotees, and to Radheshyam for giving us this opportunity, and to Srila Prabhupada and all the acharyas for their unfathomable and causeless mercy, because of which we are given this opportunity. My humble obeisances to you and all of those wonderful acharyas. Panchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna, have a wonderful weekend ahead, Mother's Day and Lord Nrsimha's Appearance Day. Hare Krishna.